Hello and welcome to Greenburgh Student News Network. I'm Lily Boyum and I go to Edgemont High School.
I'm Blake Feinstein and I'm also a student at Edgemont High School. Today we're continuing our exploration of the Greenburgh Police Department, learning more about how it operates to keep us all safe. Make sure to watch part 1 of this series if you haven't already.
Join us as we talk to officers, detectives, and EMTs to learn about the community and what makes their jobs so important.
Hi, I'm Nastasha McGehraty and I'm an EMT for Greenburgh Police Department.
And I'm Nicole Nigro, and I'm a police officer for Greenburgh Police Department.
If someone is pulled over, what would you advise them to do?
Be compliant, number one.
Obviously.
I've had people, you say obviously, it's not that obvious
Oh,
anymore.
really?
We've had people like get out of cars on us, like never get out of the car. Stay in your car. Keep your hands where we can see them. Like we get uncomfortable too, right? Like police officers are scared of people too. If people are reaching around the cars a lot, it makes us really nervous. So pull over. The cop will come up to you and explain to you why you're being pulled over. And then the best thing to do is say like, hey, my license is in my bag. Can I reach my bag and grab it? And just, be respectful. I mean, every cop here that I work with is going to be very respectful to you guys, and just be respectful back. That's all I can say, and just comply with what we're asking you.
My name is Detective Mike Marino, the Town of Greenburgh Police Department. I've been a police officer here for 27 years. Right now my function is I run all the IT for the department, among some other things here and there. This isn't that exciting, but a lot of times if somebody comes to the police department to take a report, this is our interview room. Most of the reports we do are computerized. Everything is computerized for the most part. Yes?
This might just be a random question. Where do you do like those drawings? Like, when people...
So here we don't do that. If we needed to make a composite drawing, we would use one of our partners with either state police, the FBI, or Westchester County Police. Not how it used to be, the old-fashioned pencil and paper. Now it's done through a computer.
Yeah.
It's pretty neat.
Detective Schmidt, Greenburgh Police Department. I'm a K-9 officer here and a SWAT officer. So he's on the SWAT team with us. And this is Sullivan, call him Sully. For Greenburgh, yeah, he's the only dog we have right now. Yep. He's certified in patrol and explosives. So he can do explosive detection. And then patrol work, he'll do apprehension, tracking, article searches, building searches. Yeah, so I did 7 months of training with him. He's always with me in my car, like with me working, so I'll just listen to the radio and stuff, and if there's a missing person, or like a little kid runs away from home, or like leaves and they go a couple blocks away, or whatever, they're just hiding out. Don't call us, we'll go to the house, we'll sniff something of theirs, and then I'll give him the command, he'll track them. So if I hear like missing persons calls come out, I'll come out. Overnight, like suspects, if you get a suspect that like flees from a car on a traffic stop or something, we can track that. If they're running and now they dropped, Ardsley had the bank robbery, and one of the Yonkers dogs actually tracked. The guy dropped the money with the gun in the bag. One of the dogs found that, so that's what they'll do on like article searches. They're trained to smell stuff that smells and like has human scent on it.
What is the protocol for using a taser or a gun?
So we follow Article 35, which is like the use of force laws, and there's something called the force continuum, basically. So it's a big circle that everything is on. So our baton, our taser, our gun, even the canine is in there. So you're supposed to follow that. How do I explain it? But you can skip over things. So if someone was pointing a gun at me, I wouldn't be like, oh, well, first I have to pull out my taser. No, I'm pulling out my gun, right? That would be a scenario. I mean, there are times like when you have to feel it out. If I feel unsafe in a certain situation, I might pull out my taser. If I think they have a gun on them, I am for sure pulling out my gun. And then we have to do something called like a 32 on it. It's just like a report that we do, basically saying that we pulled out our weapon. We have to let our bosses know, and they have to send a report to the state. Even if we didn't use it, it just has to be reported that we, I don't want to say threatened to use it, but pointed it at someone. So So this is like our breaching stuff. So you ever see in movies like people use the big ram? We have that. We also have like hydraulic breaching tools, which are a lot easier, but sometimes we need to get in faster. What else do we have? We have like a sledgehammer in here and a Halligan. You guys will see the fire department has that as well. It's just to breach doors open. Then we have air packs because we also do hazmat. So any kind of like chemical spill. This is our little meter where we can test the oxygen levels. So it'll basically tell us if there's not enough oxygen in the room, meaning there's something else in the room. So that's where we get to wear all our really giant suits. If you're claustrophobic, they're not for you. Trust me. I did not have fun in those suits. This is our water rescue stuff. So we'll wear, there's different suits. So there's squished water rescue suits, and then there's ice rescue suits. And we have just like different things. They keep you pretty warm in the water. We're doing ice rescue, I think, in a couple weeks. You think you're going to be freezing? I am like sweating under these suits. Obviously, if anyone's ever drowning or in the water and we need to get to them, we want to try all this other stuff before we get into the water, right? Because a cop and a person drowning is not ideal. So we have like throw bags. It's basically just a rope. You'll throw it to the person over their head and you just want them to grab onto it and you'll just pull them in. We wear obviously our life jackets and helmets as well. This is our bulletproof shield. So I can take it out for you guys if you guys want to try to hold it. It's not that heavy, but if you hold it for a long time, it can be kind of heavy. We'll have helmets on, so you'll rest it on your helmet, and you'll have your gun around the shield.
You can try.
You want to try it, you can go crazy. Yeah, so we could be holding that for 10 minutes. We could be holding that for 10 hours. So we switch out if we have to. But it can get really, really heavy. And it's also not, like, it's easier for me to hold it with this stuff on. I don't have this stuff on. I have a heavy vest on. I have a helmet on. I have my gas mask on my side. I have everything else on me, and I'm holding this. So it's a lot. If I'm on the shield, I always have someone behind me with a rifle. So they would give me the command of shield going down, so I would go down, and then they would kind of go above my head. But you have to communicate with each other, because we've definitely like hit our heads on each other a few times if you don't communicate.
How accurate is like Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
Not accurate. I'm trying to think, what was I watching that's like the most accurate show? I'm a big fan of The Rookie. That's like my favorite show. And some of it's accurate. Some of it's like, all right, it's another police show. But some of it's really good.
In what circumstances should someone call the police versus a mental health line?
I'd say both. You know, it's obviously if it is a life-threatening situation in which you may not have time to try to talk that person off the ledge, as we'd say, absolutely call 911. Call 911. Get officers, get EMS there. That way we can step in. But it should be something that hopefully is available. Like if you do have that hotline number, to also call, because they have trained professionals on that line as well. But it's kind of, it depends, you know, if that person's already trying to seek help, maybe they're looking for therapy, they can call that hotline and get the resources they need from that. But if it's something where you're scared, anything that makes you think twice about, I don't want to get off the phone with my friends or my loved one, or I don't want to leave them by themselves, call us immediately.
Yeah, and we kind of like call them simultaneously. So if we respond and we end up getting called, there are times that it's like, hey, we're not really needed here, but we can contact MCRT or we can contact this company for you, or do you are you talking to a psychologist or a psychiatrist? Like, let's reach out to them, so we can do that too. But like you said, it is better, like, call us, because we can tell people that too. Sometimes people don't know. It takes us 5 seconds to show up to your house and say like, hey, you don't need us, or yeah, you need us, thank God we're here. So
Yeah.
Earlier we were talking about how there's so much technology in police departments. There's a whole other side that nobody ever sees. So we have, you know, if you wanted to get into law enforcement, you don't necessarily have to be a police officer. So there's dispatchers, we have EMS. We also have a whole records unit. You know, earlier I was talking about all of our reports, they're all computerized, right? So we have people that work in records all day. And what they do is they have to process all these reports, right? If you get into a car accident, you have your car accident report. So they process it, they ensure everything's basically correct. They do a lot of work here. So there's a whole side of policing that nobody really ever sees. So you don't necessarily have to be a police officer on the street. You could work in records division, you could be a crime analyst. There's all different types of things in policing. That's another, I just want to show you guys because nobody really knows that there's a whole back end to the police department. And this office is staffed, you know, Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, and you can't really tell, but they have piles of paperwork because policing generates a lot of paperwork. So we're very fortunate here in the Greenburgh Police Department that we have what's called a branch office of the Westchester County District Attorney's Office right here. So these are some of our assistant district attorneys that we, you know, there's the police, we arrest the offenders, and they're charged with prosecuting. Yeah. So we work very closely with them, and it's a great resource that we're here in this building. So they, obviously we pass off the paperwork, we'll speak to them, and if we have any questions, they're a great resource for us because they help us with everything. Same thing if we need search warrants, everything has to go through district attorneys and judges. We can't just, a lot of things aren't like TV, we just don't write up a search warrant to go kicking in the door. You know, everything has to be vetted. So we speak with our partners in the district attorney's office, and then it has to be vetted by a judge who ultimately decides if the warrant is going to be signed.
All right, nice meeting you.
Thank you guys.
I noticed you have a lot of gear on your uniform. Can you tell us a bit about like all the things that you carry?
Yeah, so I do have a lot of gear. These are my keys. I actually have so many less keys on here right now than I usually do. This is like a little doorstop. So she has the same one. A lot of us carry them. If I personally ever like go in a building for any call, I'll throw one on the door so that God forbid I need help, the other cops can get in without having to break the door down because that's not ideal. I have a tourniquet, and then I have 2 tourniquets. I have like a heavy vest that I have 2 other tourniquets on because you have 4 limbs, you should carry 4 tourniquets. These are like little shears that I have. I had to get them in pink. My gun, obviously, we all carry at least 2 magazines and 1 in our gun. My taser, radio, handcuffs. Some officers you'll see will have like handcuffs on their belt as well, and they'll have 2 pairs. Because if you get someone that's a very large person, you're not putting 1 pair of handcuffs on them. You need 2. I think that's it. My body camera would go up here, and then this is like just the mic that runs up here to my radio.
Any interesting gear you use as an EMT?
Yeah, I wish we had those vests because we could probably carry way more stuff on us and not stuff our pockets and stuff. But so I pretty much have a tourniquet kit. So I have some combat gauze in here and our tourniquet as well as like some stop the bleed stuff, which I hope I never have to use right away. I do have shears as well. We carry our radio. I always carry a flashlight, learned that from the cops because, you know, we go into a lot of places where sometimes people don't have lighting or their properties are pretty dark when we get on there. I do have, because I don't have a bunch of things to place on my vest, well, little slits. So I carry an actual sling pack. I make my own. And I'll have like my pen light, I'll have an extra pair of shears, we'll have BP cuffs on us, pulse ox, which we use to get your oxygen saturations as well as your pulse. A lot of all the boo-boo gear that you guys will think of, like Band-Aids and things to stop bleeding. But we also carry a big monitor, a big drug bag. So we're coming in with like everything that you need.
So a lot of stuff that's on this truck, we do have on those trucks. Those are meant to get there faster with my partner and I, like as a 2-man team. These would be for like a more extended thing because these are not fast to move, right? So we would bring that to like an extended hazmat situation or an extended water rescue or ice rescue, and that's what we would use those trucks for. And then our Bearcat, I love. So it's super heavy. So if you're driving it, you have to like brake much earlier than you would think. So it's basically just like 2 rows of seats on the inside. So we would take this to like an active shooter, a warrant, anything that we have to do with a warrant, and a bunch of us will sit in the back. God forbid we ever have to do like an officer rescue. Bullets will not go through this. So we'll park it in front of the person, someone will hop out, grab the guy, throw them in the back, and we leave. We can also use it to like stop cars that are coming at us. If you hit a car with this, you are destroying a car. Like these are very, very heavy for our rifles to come out of, so you can open them from the inside and kind of just take your rifle through there. And then there's a big porthole on the top. These earpieces. So if I take off this microphone from my radio, I can plug this in, and then I have a mic. And then there's another piece, it's a little button, and that's how we can talk to each other if we're ever in any kind of situation together. We can basically whisper into them, because these will block out any kind of shots, God forbid we use our firearms. And then these are helmets that we wear. So then this is my heavy vest. So on here, I'll have a tourniquet up here. I just took it off the other day, but I usually have one under here. And then I'll have my 3 rifle magazines. My radio will go on there. What else? And then this is what I was talking about with like the shield. That'll help me kind of carry the shield for a long time. And then in here, I have something called chem lights. So these are used to like mark different rooms. So we have a bunch of those in here. And different guys will have different setups for their vests, like what they're comfortable with. That's just kind of what works for me. I have little arms, so I can't reach around my body a lot with this stuff on. Oh, I'll show you right. So this we could wear with a filter right on the front of it. And it's really tight. It has to be tight to your face because nothing else can get in, right?
Can that go on under the helmet? Or?
Yes, it can go under the helmet. It's not comfortable, but it can happen. That's a really bad day if we're putting this on and our SWAT gear. That's not going to be a good time. But we have all that. I've like separated again. Different guys do different things, but I've separated one bag into a tech rescue bag and then one bag into a SWAT bag. But it's a lot of different stuff. That's where I keep like my rope gloves, my suit for cutting up trees, and all that fun stuff.
Is that a bulletproof vest?
Yes. I love it. I wear it all the time because if you notice, if you're not literally observing and watching everything on us, we walk in together, the first thing that you're thinking is, they're both cops. But there's a lot of times where because of that and because of the changing environment out there and it's just great to be safe. We want to go home to our families. We want to get you guys home to your families. It's important. I feel like a lot of people should have it, especially in different areas here in the state.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So as you saw earlier, this is our booking room. This is the police desk. The police desk is where the supervisor for the shift stays. He is in constant view of everything that's going on because he is basically responsible for everything that happens in this building and to ensure everybody's safe. So that's why he has a constant view of what's going on here in the booking room. So this is the desk officer, and he is responsible for what's going on today on the road. So earlier we showed you our muster room. He is the sergeant who went down and he spoke to all the officers working and he gave them their assignments, showed them what posts they were doing and their assignment for the day. Then when he's done with that, he comes up here and he has his radio on, he has his dispatch screen, so he knows everything that's going on. Additionally, people come up all the time, whether they have to come file a report, if somebody was arrested, they want to pick them up. So that's everything that he's responsible for, amongst a ton of other things.
Yeah, the same screen you guys saw upstairs, I have over here. It shows everybody's status and what they're doing.
Go ahead.
Check it out if you want. All the cameras in the building. Been watching you guys on camera all day, actually.
Okay. Thank you to the entire Greenburgh Police Department for being so welcoming to us and for all they do for the town.
Thanks for watching this episode of the Greenburgh Student News Network, and make sure to tune in next month for another exciting episode.